This is Lukula, a Congolese refugee in Uganda. He currently resides in Makindye Division, Kampala City.
Mimi na tangia wakati tulifika, tuko wa refugee kwanza. Tunafika hapa tunakuwa na mwaka moja na nusu sasa hivi tunakaa hapa.
Far from home and in a foreign land, himself and family face a host of challenges. Among them, public service access. The trouble of accessing public services like education by refugees has unique nuances. Language barrier is on top. Contrary to Uganda's English, the language of instruction in neighboring DRC is French.
Arriving in Uganda, I think, not even thinking, actually this is the reality, that child will be totally confused.
But there is a ray of hope. There are a couple of Congolese curriculum-based schools which are attempting to fill this void in the capital, Kampala. Approximately 2 years ago, Lukula, a 44-year-old man from Bunia in the Democratic Republic of Congo, was thriving. He had just received funding for his project, but rebels had other plans.
Mimi na mke wangu sasa, wakati tulipata shida, tulifanya project kidogo. Kwa hiyo project ikatuma sasa tunapata financement. Wakati pesa zilikuja, wakaanza kututafuta, ndio wakapata kuua mkubwa wa hospitali ambao tulikuwa naye. Sasa mimi nilikuwa ni manager ambao tulikuwa natumika naye mu cadre administration, ndio akakuwa anatutafuta. Hiyo wakututafuta mimi, wakati mimi nilikuwa kwenye hospital, wakabaka bibi yangu na ndio tukakimbia yao kuwa na mama tena.
With a family of 5 children, Lukula and his family fled to Uganda. He has since found employment at Emmanuel Health Center, a well-established medical facility in Kampala.
Tukakuwa kwenye camp. Hapa tulikaa kwenye camp, tukafika watu mwa wakasema watu wanakuja ni wanganga, wanaweza kujifanya enregistrer. Sasa ndio sasa tukakamata nani zetu ambao tulikuja nazo jua hawakuzibeba. Tukafaa translate kwenye makerere, ndio kwa kufuatana na ile. Ndio akasema kama hivi tunaweza kuomba kazi kadogo. Na hivyo wakati tulienda jipresenter kukafaka stage kadogo, wakasema sisi tunatumika vizuri, na ndio wakatukamata kwanza tumika hapo.
Thanks to Uganda's refugee policy, which grants refugees freedom of movement and the right of work, Lukula was able to return to his profession. However, he faced a significant concern: education for his children. Unlike the DRC, where the medium of instruction is French, Uganda's schools primarily teach in English. This posed a clear language barrier for his children.
Imagine the child is, let's give this example, the child was in P4 from Congo, coming to Uganda. That child will no longer merit to come in P4 in Uganda. Why? Because there is an issue of language barrier. There is also what we call education system is totally different. So that child, automatically they will put him or her in P2 or 1. And it is where every problem started, because the child will be in conflict with the classmate, because they are very young. Someone who would be maybe in P5 is coming back in P2. And it has been a very big gap that even the refugee regime and the organizations, the NGOs cannot even cover that gap.
Lukula has since enrolled her children at Complex Kolei Katwe, home to both primary and a secondary school, where more than 100 students of Congolese origin are learning. The school follows a curriculum regulated by the Congolese Education and Public Service Authorities.
So that those youth, because here they are refugees, one day they may get peace in their country and they decide to go back. And if they are studying here in Uganda in the same system of Congo, they will fit very well when they go back. Or even if they go in the other country different from their original country, whereby they speak or the system is French, they may fit very well because of this system.
Established in 2017, the facility purposed to ensure that the urban Congolese refugees in the capital Kampala continued with education despite the trouble back home. The goal is to prepare these children for eventual reintegration into either the workforce or education systems in the DRC if a chance to return ever arises.
Colonne vertébrale, nous avons ici les crânes, nous avons aussi quoi? La mâchoire, nous avons parlé des clavicules, nous avons parlé de l'os du bassin, les bassins, les os des mains, et la partie ici, on appelle ça comment, Marie?
The best thing is also just to know English and French, because we don't know where the life is taking us. Maybe we can go back in Congo. She can also be able to have some lessons about French, because if just we rest just about English, when we reach there in Congo, she can't speak with others, because in Congo their English is very poor. Mostly we usually speak just French, Swahili and Lingala.
The uniqueness of this school is its dual accreditation. It is fully licensed by Uganda authorities and assesses learner progress using the DRC criterion and grading system.
That after primary, there's a program for these students who comes from primary. There's a program of 2 years to prepare him to know exactly which program he has to study. So that program of 2 years prepare the students. Those are now the class of P7 and P8. For us, P7 and P8 is taught in secondary, so that we may prepare the students and know exactly which program he must study.
With 28 refugee settlements scattered around the East African country and 10,000s of refugees living in urban centers, Uganda has been touted as a refugee paradise. Civil unrest in the DRC, political instability in South Sudan, and conflicts in Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia has led to a large wave of refugees arriving in Uganda over the years. Initiatives like this school aim to address some of the challenges these refugees face, particularly access to education. It is also looked at as a crucial step in preventing the rise of crime in marginalized refugee populations, especially since only 54.4% of refugee children and youth aged 7 to 24 are enrolled in formal education after living in Uganda for 6 or more years.
If you pass around Katwe, you may see we have a lot of tags around Katwe. And I had a meeting with some people there. I don't want to enter into that. But 60% of those tags, there are Congolese that came long time in Uganda, but they didn't have a chance because of that age. They drop school and they become tags. And I think what you should appreciate is those school coming, it's also somehow supporting the number of refugees that are dropping school.
Approximately 2 kilometers away, Complex Collet Agel Duciel is providing the same services in a city division of Makindye that houses the majority of urban refugees in the city.
Everyone knows French, they're speaking good. But in Uganda school, it be like, this man is a Congolese, be like bad. Here it's good because everyone knows the language, they can't laugh at you, but there, they doesn't know the language, and when I went there, I didn't know even those Luganda, that language. Up to now, I don't know it very well. I can just hear some things,
Now when I was still in primary then, yeah. Now when they're telling you in exams, when there's exam like for Uganda, I can't answer very because I don't know Uganda.
We had a president called Joseph Kabila, who was all the class from 0 up to university. It was in East Africa. Coming back to the country of origin, they treat him as a foreigner because of the poor accent in French, the poor accent in Swahili.
With these schools relying heavily on parental funding and arguably coming off as a reserve for the privileged, the hope is that they can serve as an optimality criterion for a country that ticks most boxes with their refugee policy.
Body.